Hey everybody, Dragon Movie Guy here with another movie review, and today we're continuing with my series, I Missed It, You Missed It, Let's Watch It. Today is Monday, so it's a I Missed It Monday, and the movie we're watching today is the spiritual successor, the spiritual sequel to the movie we watched for You Missed It Wednesday last week, which is Dazed and Confused. This is a film that is semi-autobiographical in the same way that Dazed and Confused is semi-autobiographical by director Richard Linklater. Richard Linklater has been nominated 5 times for an Academy Award. And in the same way that Dazed and Confused was set in 1976 in high school in Texas, which is right when he was in high school in Texas, this is a film that takes place in 1980 in Texas, where the characters are in college and on the baseball team. This is a movie that is called Everybody Wants Some. Not just some, but some with 2 exclamation points. This film stars Blake Jenner, Tyler Hoechlin, Ryan Guzman, Wyatt Russell, Juston Street, Glenn Powell, Will Brittain, and it also stars Zoey Deutch. She was the daughter of Bryan Cranston in Why Him? And she was the blonde in the Zombieland 2 movie that came out last year. This movie is described as, in 1980, a group of college baseball players navigate their way through the freedoms and responsibilities of unsupervised adulthood. A college movie. A college party movie. I have not seen this movie, and I honestly don't know how I didn't see this movie. I love Richard Linklater. Obviously, Boyhood was nominated for several Academy Awards. Patricia Arquette won for Best Actress for Boyhood. And obviously, Dazed and Confused is an all-time classic, and I love Dazed and Confused. So when I finally saw that there was a sequel or a semi-sequel coming out, because I don't think any of the characters are the same, I was really excited, and I loved the trailer for this film, but somehow it just sort of slipped through the cracks, and I missed it. So it's an I Missed It Monday. It's a mea culpa Monday for me, because this is a film that I should have seen. So I have not seen Everybody Wants Some. If you would like to pick up a copy, go ahead and click on the link in the description bar below this video. Help support my channel. Pick up a copy for yourself. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and pop in Everybody Wants Some and watch the story of these college students in 1980. And we'll come back afterwards and we'll discuss Everybody Wants Some. So I just finished watching Everybody Wants Some for I Missed It Monday, and this is a really good movie. I'm not going to say it's as good as Dazed and Confused, but as far as Richard Linklater 3-word title movies that are semi-autobiographical based on when he was actually in high school and college, I'm going to say it's a really, really good film. This is a film that takes place in 1980 at a college in Texas where the guys from the baseball team are all living together in 2 houses, and the main protagonist of this film, played by Blake Jenner from Glee, from the later seasons of Glee, is sort of the point of view character for this film. While Everybody Wants Some is not technically a sequel to Dazed and Confused, it is definitely a film that is very closely related. It may not be a sister or a brother movie, but it is a cousin of a movie. Dazed and Confused takes place over the last day of school in high school, 1976. Everybody Wants Some takes place the 3 or 4 days before school starts in college in 1980. So whereas Dazed and Confused is people that have gone to school with each other their whole lives, the whole year, saying goodbye and kind of coming of age, Everybody Wants Some is everyone who graduated a couple of months ago and is now meeting people for the first time and going off to college for the first time, as a good chunk of the cast for this movie is supposedly freshmen in college, and therefore they're going through all the stuff that freshmen go through, all the freshman hazing, everything that you do when you go to college for the first time. There are a lot of other similarities to Dazed and Confused with Everybody Wants Some. Obviously, there's a lot of hazing going on in both Dazed and Confused and Everybody Wants Some. Obviously, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of smoking, there's a lot of 420 going on throughout both of these films. And I'm not going to say that Everybody Wants Some is as good as Dazed and Confused, because Dazed and Confused is so well done beginning to end. Everybody Wants Some is a good, solid film with a lot of really well-defined characters. And the biggest and most important comparison between Everybody Wants Some and Dazed and Confused is the very specific, very of the moment, the very of the time feel that director Richard Linklater gives to this film, where you really feel like, in this case here in the fall of 1980, it's still very much a 70s feel to the film, but it's also the dawn of the 80s, so it's the end of disco, it's the beginning of 80s hair metal bands. It's really on the cusp of that 70s and 80s time because it's 1980. There's tons of political and philosophical discussions that you always have when you're a freshman in college that appear in this film. There are political debates that were going on in 1980 that were way before my time, but still had that familiar ring of people having a political debate when you're in college. Ideological, political, philosophical, all those kinds of conversations they have in this film. And it is also different than Dazed and Confused because obviously as a college movie, you're an adult. You're off on your own for the first time, and there is sort of that feeling of self-discovery. There's that feeling of sneaking around behind our parents' backs. We're the adults now, so we can do whatever the heck we want to do, which is part of the whole point of a college movie, which this definitely is. And what's sort of also interesting as well, Dazed and Confused doesn't technically, but it basically starts right at the end of the buzzer, at the end of the last day of school. This movie ends at the first buzzer for the first day of school. So in this film, we have Blake Jenner starring as Jake. He is the freshman pitcher who's coming in, who was second team All-State. You also have Juston Street as Jay. You have Tyler Hoechlin, who's going to be in the new Superman TV show on the CW. You have Glenn Powell, who played one of the astronauts in Hidden Figures. You have Quinton Johnson as Dale. You have Will Brittain as Buter, who is one of the few guys with the Texas accent. He plays the roommate of Blake Jenner's character, Jake. You also have Zoey Deutch, who plays Beverly. She is the love interest to Blake Jenner in this film, and she was Bryan Cranston's daughter in Why Him? So she also does a really good job in this film playing a arts student going to college for the first time, and she also kind of does a really good job representing all the performance artist students at the university and how competitive that is too, as well as how competitive all of the baseball players are with each other and obviously with other teams. So this is a film that really does a good job exploring a lot of that facet of your freshman year of college, all packed into the first weekend of college. And unless Richard Linklater went to grad school and makes a movie about going to grad school in 1983 or 1984, I don't think we're going to see any more autobiographical films of Richard Linklater's youth coming up in the future. And again, while this is not an all-time classic, this is a really good, solid film that you will enjoy watching. I'm not saying you're going to quote it like you do Dazed and Confused. There's no all right lines in this film. It's just a good solid watch, but it's not going to be as long-term memorable as Dazed and Confused has been. And I think there's a reason why Dazed and Confused was made in 1993, and this film took a lot longer to get to the screen. It came out in 2016, so this is a film that's good. It's a good, solid film. I definitely recommend watching it, but I'm not going to say it's as good as Dazed and Confused, but it is definitely the spiritual successor to. So, in the comments section down below, let me know whether or not you've seen Everybody Wants Some with not one, but 2 exclamation points. Let me know if you've seen Everybody Wants Some, and if you have, what you thought of this film, and how does this compare to Dazed and Confused. It's impossible not to compare the two films. So let me know your thoughts on how these two films are similar or how they're different, or just give me your thoughts on Everybody Wants Some and Dazed and Confused. So I've been Dragon Movie Guy. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Be sure to click right here. That is the playlist for all of my I Missed It Monday movie reviews, and also be sure to click up here. That is also the other playlist that has all of my I Missed It, You Missed It, Let's Watch It movie reviews all in one playlist, so you can watch them all at the same time. I've been Dragon Movie Guy. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. See ya.